Hello, I am Marie Contreras. For the last 20 years, I have been a vintage and antique collectibles reseller on eBay. For the last 5 years, I have run my own pet care business. I write a weekly blog about pet care, and I recently wrote my first book about caring for dogs. I make videos on this channel about growing a small business, saving money, and living life on your own terms. If this sounds like something you would enjoy, stick around. I hope you enjoy what I created for you. Today, I thought I would share a little bit of the behind-the-scenes growing pains on publishing my first book. So I have gotten 2 copies of my paperback version so far. The first version, which is this one, they both look the same. What changed was the interior. The first one, I had read that you needed to hire a formatter or prepare the formatting for Kindle and for paperback. But when I uploaded my manuscript to both programs, it looked good on the computer to me. So I didn't think I needed to format it. I didn't understand what everybody was talking about when they said, oh, you've got to get it formatted properly. Because when I looked at the formatting and I did the previewer on my computer, everything looked good. It looked like a nice typed up page. Well, when I got the book, this is what it looked like. This is what it looks like if you upload it and you don't get it formatted. In comparison, after I got that, I hired a formatter very inexpensively, and he fixed it for me. And this is what it looks like when you get it properly formatted. I also took the time when I fixed it to add an index, and the index is clickable. So it's a much better product now. But my first iteration of the book was, I was so excited to open the box. And then I opened it, and it had, look at this. It had the word count and my mailing address on the front. It just, it didn't look right. And then like it had weird pages, and it had no index. And one of my author friends asked me, she said, well, for a book that's a guide, it would be really helpful to your customers and make it handier if you add an index. She said, it's really easy to do. You can use a computer to do it. You can do it on your Word program. Well, I used Word in the editing portion of the writing process. I used Scrivener when I was doing the rough draft, and my first edits on my own. I didn't even know you could use Word for that. My editor had turned me on to Word, so I was familiar slightly. I was very much a beginner on Word. I Googled it. I watched some YouTube videos. I followed the instructions. I figured out how to do an index. And so now I have this nice index in the paperback. And on the Kindle version, it's clickable, so it'll take you back to those sections. My table of contents is clickable. I mean, it was well worth it to get this formatted and looking much better. But what I didn't do was, when I wrote it, I did the rough draft and I didn't edit the first rough draft because I was saving all of that for the editing steps. And then I personally edited it 3 times before I hired an editor and sent it off to him. And then we sent it back and forth to each other about 3 times. So I edited it once alone, and then I edited it 3 times more with a professional editor. And I used Grammarly, I used the word, spell checkers and grammar checkers. So I really didn't think, and I had a professional working on it with me. So when they told me to hire proofreaders, just like they told me to hire a formatter, I thought, what do I need a proofreader for? I've written it. I've used all the grammar checkers. I've read it 6 times now, plus what I did to write it. I thought, between me and the editor, we must have caught everything. So I got my new properly formatted copy yesterday, and I started looking through it. And can you see all these pages that have a turned down page? Those are all the pages that I have found so far that have something that's either unclear or there's a wrong word. Like, for example, I was talking in here in this section about the things that you need in order to potty train a dog. Well, I had on the list a leash and collar, basic items. Somewhere along the line, and I looked at my original edited files, and in that section it said leash and collar. Somewhere between my edits and going back and forth and then getting it formatted, that leash and collar turned into a prong collar. You don't need a prong collar to potty train a dog. I don't know where that came from, but my paperback book now says you need a prong collar to potty train a dog. So I'm getting that fixed. Luckily, the guy who's doing my formatting is willing to make whatever changes I want, and he's very amenable and very easy to work with. So I'm grateful for that, but I'm only on page 45, and those are all the pages that, just about every page has something wrong with it. And I started reading it and I started feeling like the writing in this is so bad. It's so terrible. What am I even doing? I mean, why would I even publish a book like this? I'm starting to get cold feet about even publishing the book. And I started a launch team last week, which was terrifying because I didn't think anybody would join or want to help. And I've got 22 people now on my launch team. If you want to join, you're welcome to. You can be a part of this. But I've sent them copies of this book, and there are so many mistakes in here. And granted, a lot of them are little mistakes. A lot of them are word choice changes where something could sound better if I changed a word here or there. And I know you could probably work on that for the rest of time and rewrite things and make them better. But some of these things change the meaning that I had behind the section. So I am going to finish working on that today, and I'm going to get all of that edited. The book will be published, and it will be as close to perfect as I can have it by September 14th. And this is the part of the process that is a little more painful. Although I have to say, writing it and deleting it and writing it again and deleting it, not once but twice, that was fairly painful. That took me 3 months to get over the pain to start over again. I've got this though. There are going to be mistakes. I am a master at making mistakes and thinking that advice doesn't apply to me, and then finding out the hard way that yes, it does. So when I write a next book, and I will write a next book, I'm already halfway through writing my next book. It's going to be about caring for senior dogs. I will hire proofreaders and I'll hire a formatter, and I'm going to take a little more time to get through it. Now that I know what I need to look for, I know from experience now that if I try and edit it over and over and over again, I go blind to what's on the page. My brain just doesn't soak it in anymore. But I think by taking a break and working on something else and then coming back to it with a fresh set of eyes, I think that's where I made a lot of the mistakes, was trying to barrel through it and just muscle through it and get it done. I'm still very proud of the work, having slept on it and rereading the passages that I thought last night were terrible. They're not so terrible. And I do think the book is going to be very valuable and help people take the best care possible of their dogs. So I'm going to press on, and I'm going to get this fixed. And if you want to join the launch team and see these little moments of learning that I have on a regular basis, you're welcome to join. If you'd like to take a look at the book, it's on Amazon right now. I probably need to unpublish it before someone buys this and thinks they have to have a prong collar to potty train their dog, which is not the case at all. I will talk to you later.
If you enjoyed this video, nudge the like button. If you would like to see more like this, consider subscribing. If you would like to read the blog or check out my new book, I'm going to leave links to them in the description. Thank you for watching. Bye till next time.